Hello everyone, Mr. Drybones here, and I've got a bit of my retro collection here for you today. So it's Gunbird 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, our first Dreamcast game that we've had to look at. This is actually one of the first Dreamcast games I bought when I purchased my Dreamcast, and my Dreamcast I got around the early 2010s, if I remember right. Right before Dreamcast started blowing up, I got it with the box manual and everything. It was like $60. It was a great deal. And this and Sonic Adventure were the first games I had to have. I love Gunbird 2. I used to play it all the time in the arcade when there was an arcade close to my house. Very sad story about that arcade. It was there for many, many, many years. And then, what was it? It was at least 12 years ago. The mall that it was housed in kicked them out. They didn't renew their lease because they didn't like the clientele they brought into the mall, so they didn't pick up their lease and they had to leave. It was really a shame because it was a Japanese-owned arcade. It was an Aladdin's Castle, is what it was, and they had tons of lots of great games, stuff from Japan. It was really good, and that's how I played Gunbird 2. And I was very happy to find out it was ported to the Dreamcast. So it's a great game. I really like it. So I got the whole thing. I got it complete. When I bought it, again, it was just before Dreamcast started blowing up. So I got it was a sealed copy when I got it, and of course I opened it because I didn't buy it for a box. I bought it so that I could, I could play it. So the Dreamcast version is nearly arcade perfect. Let's take a look at the manual while I'm talking here. It's nearly arcade perfect. The difference is this was published by Capcom, so they added in an extra character to play as. You can actually play as, let's see, is her profile in here? Morgan was an extra character from Darkstalkers, that you could play as in the game. And they actually added an extra couple of endings for beating it with her. And the home console, yeah, there she is. There's Morgan from Darkstalkers. So Morgan also added in a couple of extra endings, and this game has the ability of playing with two characters because you get a different ending if you play with two characters versus one character. That's Waluigi, right? That's Waluigi, right? Very short instruction booklet. It just goes over, things like the characters, what modes there are, whether you want to play vertical or horizontal. Well, it's weird. You'll see when I start it up. But really cool game. One of my favorites for the Dreamcast. Probably my favorite shooter that's out there. The first game, Gunbird, was released on the original PlayStation. You could probably find it fairly cheap. It was released under the name of, God, what was it? Mobile Light Force? And it was one of those weird games where they brought it over from Japan, but they cut out all the story and endings and everything. So you could just pick your character, play the game, and that was really all there was to it. So very strange decision. And I guess it was, what is it? God, I forgot the name of the company that made this. Oh, it doesn't matter. Capcom was the publisher, but they weren't the ones that made it. Now, well, I guess I'll talk about that kind of stuff later. But you can play this game on modern consoles if you'd like. It is available for PS4, I believe Xbox, and the Switch through the digital storefronts and the Neo Geo arcade games. You can get both Gunbird and Gunbird 2, which I do recommend checking out. But hey, without further ado, let's go ahead and shove this in the Dreamcast and we'll get started, huh? No, I definitely couldn't do a Dreamcast game without showing the startup. Oh, I love that so much. Alright, here we go. Alright, hello everyone, I'm back, and we're gonna get into Gunbird 2 here. So, here are your options. You've got Original Mode, where the screen is designed to fit your TV. Original 2, where it's more like the arcade, where it's the full resolution, but the screen scrolls as needed. I really don't recommend playing like that, unless you really want the arcade experience. Arcade Mode, where the screen is vertical position, but it scrolls horizontally, which is kind of awkward. I don't recommend playing that way either. I'm gonna stick to Original 1, because I think that's the best way to play it. And then you can set the game difficulty. I will set it on 5, and we will see how far I can get into the game before I want to rage quit. Because the game can get pretty challenging at the end, and I'll explain why when we get there. It's a short game. It's a bullet hell shooter. You know, it took maybe 20-30 minutes to finish. You can set your options, you know, how you rank. Now, when you're on the here, if you hit Y before you start your game, you can do two-player story, where you can pick 2 of the game's characters, and you'll switch characters every time you die. And you'll get a different ending depending on which 2 characters you pick. Each pair has their own unique ending, and each individual character has their own ending too. So the game does have some replayability in that sense. We're just going to do a single-player story, I think, because I don't think I'm going to finish the game. At least not on this video. That would be something I'd probably torture myself with on the Twitch channel. So let's go ahead and get started here. And I think we're going to play as the girl with glasses, whose name I can't remember. There she is. Tavia. Yeah, I got all the... What's that? Hiekab? Tavia Valpiro. Oh, picked Marin for me. Shoot. I didn't recognize there's a timer. Alright, I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, D-pad. No joystick on this one. Graphically, I think this game looks really nice. You know, Psycho did a really good job building this game. Each power-up, you know, increases your spread on your gun. Down the bottom left, I've got how, you know, my level of my gun, which is, it resets every time you use a bomb or when you die. So try and get it as full as you can. There was a time when I was really good at this game, because I played it all the time in the arcade. But it's been a little while. Oh, jeez. Pick up that bomb. An interesting tidbit, in the first game, the villain's name is Trump. I'm not trying to be political, I'm just making an interesting observation. The villain's name is Trump. I just thought that was really, you know, something worth pointing out. Please don't leave comments. Alright, I'm almost level 3. And there's Waluigi. And Booster from Mario RPG. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get through this without dying once. Whoa, at least not in the first stage. Bombs are really useful in this game because they do clear the screen of bullets. There we go. That was close. I think I can do a charge shot too, but I don't want to use my gun yet. Oh god, heavy focus. Ah, darn it! Heartbreaker. And my meter went down to 0. Oh, and it was so close to being dead, too. Alright, so we got the first piece of the potion. Darn, I kind of wish we got to do Tavia. Tavia was looking for the potion to save her mother. I think Marin is looking for it because she was cursed into a child's body, which is very Japanese. Not criticizing, I'm just making an observation. And the game's difficulty does ramp up slightly with each stage, but nothing too much to handle until you get into close to the end. Because once you get to the end, when you get a game over, you have to go back to the start of the ending segment, which is like 3 or 4 areas. So it can get pretty tricky. It's definitely a case of get good. But we'll see how far I can get. It's a really good game. Like I said, you can play this right now on the Switch, PS4, and I'm pretty sure on the Xbox through the Neo Geo Arcade Collection. It's definitely worth checking out. Oh, geez. Whew. That was close. I'm gonna burn through all my bombs just so I can get through this. I don't want to die, guys. Oh, I probably could have dodged that. I want to say it's like $7 for each one of the games. I like the second one a little bit more than the first one. I think it's a little bit sillier. Unfortunately, the one that you can get for consoles right now is the Direct Arcade version, which, unfortunately, none of the extra characters, Morgan is not included in those because, it's the arcade version. But, yeah, one more element to become an adult. 17 is not an adult. At least not in America. But I recommend checking it out. Those the SNK games go on sale all the time. If you don't mind buying a digital copy, by all means. I don't know how much this costs on Dreamcast these days. But hey, if you're willing to go for it, I would recommend it, because the Dreamcast version has, the few extra bonuses. I am out of bombs. Ah! Last life. Game overs aren't a big deal because you get to... Oh, shoot. Because you get to continue playing. Oh, did I get a one-up? Oh, clear the enemies real quick. Oof. This is a big plane. You often wonder where, the pirates get the money to finance these kind of things. Oh, I'm out of bombs. Darn it. Curses! It's my last life. I'll use at least one continue. We'll make this into almost a long play. Oh, ooh, nice. Ah, blasted. Yeah, I'm down. You can continue as many times as you want, as I recall, which makes it a really good home port. Any arcade port where you can't try as many times as you want is kind of annoying. I've already paid you my money. Let me just play as much as I want. I don't have the PlayStation version of the first game, but I really don't have much interest in getting it, since they cut out the story. I mean, where's the fun in that? Whew. So we're off to the North Pole. I think it's after this stage is when the game will not let you continue your game. At least not from here. If you're having trouble, you can always lower the difficulty, which is fine. The point of the game is to have fun, so never be afraid to turn down the difficulty if you need to make the game more enjoyable for yourself. Oof. Ow. Let's clear the screen here and pick up these power-ups. There we go. The game's main draw, I suppose, is being able to play with all the different characters. And there's some funny endings, too. I would recommend doing it as, what were some of the funny ones? Marin's is pretty funny when you finish her game. I'll see if we can get there. I might use some video editing magic and we'll get us to the end, but we'll see. The bosses themselves are pretty impressive, too. The computer-generated work along with the sprite work actually blends itself together pretty well. Poor Marin. This is also one of the neat games where enemies flash as they slowly get closer to death. I've always appreciated that. That was always the way in the classic Capcom games, or the classic Konami games, like the old Ninja Turtles arcade games. The game is not over yet. Nope. That rabbit broke the fourth wall. Yeah, I think from this point on, if I continue, I have to start at this level. Oof. It's a lot of items. Yeah, now I have to go back to the start. So let's see if I can get through here at least. I'll try my best. So yeah, this is when the difficulty really steps up, because there's still quite a bit of, there's still a fair amount of game left. Not a terribly long game, but it is challenging. Dead. And back to the start. Oh, geez. Alright, one more. If you're a glutton for punishment like me, I recommend picking up this game. For $7, you really can't go wrong. If you're willing to wait for a sale, you know, get it for $3. Now you're talking. But the Dreamcast original is definitely a great way to go to. Oh, jeez. I flew right into that. Fry is still one of my favorite late shooter games. Ah, I didn't quite make it. That's okay. So hey, you know what? Stay tuned. I'm gonna see if I can't get us to one of the endings. Hang on just a minute. The magic of video editing will soon solve everything. There we go. With a little bit of editing magic, we can jump to the next level. Don't ask how I got here. I certainly didn't lower the difficulty significantly to make the game a lot easier so I could get here faster. Although I think if I still die, I have to go back to the start. But hey, I suppose we'll find out. I did say eventually I might end up rage quitting, so... It's a fun game, and I have beaten it before, but I have to edit this video still. Don't worry, I'll just do my best to try and brute force my way through by throwing enough one-ups at the stage. I really do like the level design and the enemy design in this. Very, very good. I don't think we've seen the last of those pirates, though. I'm pretty sure they're going to make their last stand in this level. Ooh, bomb. Don't mind if I do. Aww. How sad. going for it. We're going all in. Maybe I should have set the difficulty to baby. I think I got one up. Our chances of survival are increasing. I'm gonna try and save the... Oh, jeez. Flew right into it, didn't I? Never mind about saving that bomb. See, I told you that wasn't any of the pirates. Oh, jeez, this is my last life on this. Continue, too. Oh, jeez. If you believe in miracles... Aww. I just need to play better. Stop playing badly. Ah! Heartbreaker. I was a little struck by surprise by the power down. I forgot enemies can do that if you crash into them. Ah, I cannot fly. Thankfully, levels are short. Oh, we haven't seen the orange one wake up yet. Nice. Alright, we can do this. I got plenty of bombs. Alright, let's do it. Really hoping I can get a 1-up out of those items. Huzzah! We did it. Alright, let's keep going. We're getting there. I think there's one more stage after this one. The game's challenge is pretty fair, I have to say. This is set for a child, and the enemies have predictable enough patterns. I'm just trying to beat this while I've got my OBS open. But I enjoy it. I throw it in every once in a while, and I'll play it until I get angry and then turn it off. But sometimes I'll power through. Throwing those, oh geez. It's throwing some companion cubes at us. Yeah, heartbreaker. Oh, that's staying in. That one's for the fail blog. Gotta keep your eyes peeled for the red enemies. The red enemies are the ones that drop your weapon power-ups. I will take that bomb gladly. Thank you. This video is reminding me of something I wanted to do when I first started YouTube, was doing shorties where I just play video games that were short that I could play through in one sitting. And this definitely falls in that category. Oh, oops. I got blowed up. I'm doing pretty good. Doing good on this run. Aw, if I only wouldn't fly into the attacks. Nice. Getting close to the end. Oh snap, is this it? Is it the end? Oh, it's the pirates. So anime. Alright. No, that wasn't the final boss, but this, I think, is the final boss. Some sort of giant doggy. This gives me some Android vibes from Star Fox 64 Android, Andross. Another classic shooter, if you want to call that game a shooter. Alright, I got one bomb left. Whoa. I don't think that was it. Was it? Was that it? Oh, what do you know? I did it. So that was Gunbird 2. Thankfully, I was able to mute the microphone before the ending started. But I hope you enjoyed that. We played through with one character. If you'd like to see more the other endings, by all means, pick it up for your home console. I'd love to hear some comments about people who decided to go and get it after watching this video. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll watch the credits, and then stay tuned for scenes of our next episode. And hey, I'll see you next game, everybody. Hey, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a comment, hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe. And please, feel free to share it on social media. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next game. Next week on Mr. Drybones Presents, it's a Tetris Attack Puzzle Challenge. See you next game, everybody.